160
Morning, guys.
current.
Today's the 5th, and
18C.
this is the tub on Project J.E.E.P, and
20C, 100C. This is nonsense.
we're going to have to rebuild it. I started working on it last spring,
in theory. What we want to see
and
is this 18C listed in the spec.
we started on other projects, and I kind of put this to the side. Didn't exactly know exactly what I was going to do with it, and so now it's become Project J.E.E.P, and it's going to be an EV. So it's going to start out just like anything else, restoration here, and the first thing we got to do is get this tub rebuilt and get it on the chassis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and I'm concerned about this piece right here. We got some rust, and it's pretty soft in some areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece off. This is a front mount. I'm trying to figure out if it's bent. It's got a bit of an angle on it. I don't know if we can tell. So, and I can't tell if it's bent. So, we may be straightening that up. And the other one is, well, it's just gone. So, I'm going to take that piece off, and what I'm going to do is the top half I'm going to get stripped. I'm going to strip the firewall, and then we're going to put it in etch prime. Like to go ahead and put epoxy on it, but I don't have any right now, so I guess we'll have to scuff the etch prime. I was reading in the Matrix handbook that we'll need to scuff the etch prime if we don't put any top coat on it within 24 hours. So that's what we'll end up having to do. But we can't get it in etch prime. So I'm going to get busy, and I'm going to start right here. And at the front, I'm going to take this piece off, repair it. I do have floor pans for this, but we're not going to put those in yet. We're going to get it set on the chassis first. So I'm going to clean up the bottom here. I'm going to try to straighten up the wheel wells. You can see we got some damage in here, right in here. I'm pretty sure this has been on this top. Looks like we got a little rust issue there to fix. So what we're going to do is try to get this thing ready to go. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here in the bottom. I believe our battery box is going to go in this area. So we'll deal with that as we kind of go along here, but I want to set it on the chassis before I make any determinations on how and where the battery box is going to go. I never intended to make this Jeep the EV, my EV build, but it's ended up that way. So I have bought parts for this Jeep that would be exactly the opposite of what I was thinking that I would make an EV out of. For instance, you know, we got a 3-inch body lift, and we got approximately 1.5 inches in the chassis. You know, the Jeep I was going to build an EV out of, I was going to, you know, basically have stock tires on and not lift it. You know, we don't want all that drag. So
10 amps.
We're making it very draggy
on
and very unaerodynamic, which is fine with me after thinking about it, because you know that's what the look I like to have on a Jeep. I like bigger tires on it, a little bit more aggressive stance, and I like it to have a little bit of a lift. That's what I like. So, and by using the 3-inch body lift, I have kind of started recalculating because of where I was going to put the batteries. The reason being is because if we gain 3 inches of room underneath the tub, that is a lot of room. So I'm kind of putting a redesign on my thinking on the battery. Actually, what we may be able to keep the back seat. I was going to delete the back seat, so I think that'd be cool to still have the back seat in it, and basically no batteries would be in the interior compartment or even halfway in. Basically, the only thing I would do is maybe cut this out, and the top of the battery box will be the flush of the bed in the Jeep. It'll be flush with the bed. So I'm thinking I can do that with the 3-inch lift. I know I can where the gas tank was, which would be from here back. So it's all about the rear axle clearance. So let me, we're going to get started. So I'm going to go across the top here and strip half of it, fix all my mounts. You can see I made a piece and stuck it in there. I'm not happy with that. We got some issues here that I didn't know about when I stuck that in there. I kind of hit that with a sandblaster and it just flew apart. So this we're gonna have to work on this some more. I got this straightened up. This was all crushed. It was rolled. As you can see down there, see how that's all crushed. So that was the same way. I got it all pulled out. I got to make a piece here. I got these the situation over here in pretty good shape on the opposite side. Of course, we'll be taking these floor pans out at a later date. So I'm not going to clean these floor pans at all because they're going to disappear. There's no sense in putting primer on them. But when we get over here down, we're going to go ahead and get it all cleaned up. So let me get started on it. And we'll get going.
364. And confirm.
Alright guys, let me get going on this and try to get that piece off of there.
And indeed, we have about, well, it's saying 20 amps, 19 amps DC. Ah, there we go. 29.4. We're showing 30 on our power supply. That's about right. So we're at 28 amps, 14.6 volts. And as you can see, our current is and we'll then test our capacity using the load at the brook rate of 0.5 C. All right, we've got our 4-cylinder unit here. This is 6 cells in each of 4 lined up, giving us right now 14.37 volts. Now that will go down over time, but not for several hours. We've removed the charger and a fully charged lithium iron phosphate cell.
Alright guys, well I got that piece off there. So we'll clean that up, straighten it up, and I got my floor pans out. I forgot that the floor pan lip is sandwiched between the piece I took off and the cowl right here. You guys can see the 2 pieces right here. So I didn't want to replace the floor pans unless I had it mounted on the frame, but I reckon we'll go ahead and do it. So I'm going to end up cutting this floor pan out and putting that one in right now, and getting all this fixed up here, and then we'll have the front section done. So that's where I'm at on that. And hopefully I can keep all this fairly straight, which I think I can, by taking the floor out of it when it's on its side. I don't think I need a new floor down here, but we'll have a look at that when I get into it. But we'll go ahead and do it up from on this side here, get the whole thing done, and see where we're at. So let me work on it some more and we'll get back to you. Alright guys, we got I got my floor pan cut out here. I gotta clean all this up right in here and start fitting it. I gotta get this there's a lip right here. I just cut it, and I wanted to see if it would move. I didn't see anything move, so that's pretty good. But I gotta cut that out of there. I think there's 3 spot welds on there at least that I gotta get off of there. I'm trying not to tear anything up terribly bad. And when I put the floor pan in, I'm not going to weld it to the existing junk here on this side. We'll weld it, you know, up here, down here. I'm going to have to tackle this issue here at about the same time, and so that's where I'm at. I'd actually, stepped on my floor pan or something hit it, and I had to straighten up the corner here, and this was all smashed over, almost flat. So I got that straightened up now. Looks pretty good. And these are nice floor pans. They're supposed to be like OEM, and they're nice and heavy duty. So look out there, 5. I don't need your help today. So that's we get this front where this lip comes over here. We'll get this all done up. I think it's going to go a little bit farther around, but I'm just trying to get it cleaned up here. Rip the seam sealer out here, which they don't seem to have a lot of seam sealer on a Jeep. They do have it right here on the firewall. So we'll get this one piece out here, and take this piece out right here, which is part of the old pan, and then we'll be ready to kind of try to get it fit in there a little bit, get us a mark where we're going to stop it at, which I'm going to come up here. I think there's enough of it here to come up here almost all this rust, which this is getting pretty good here, so I think the floor pan comes up to about here. So we'll continue to work on it and get back with you guys when we get a little bit farther along. Thanks for watching, man.